All right, how are we doing today, guys? What we're gonna do is, now that it's springtime, we did go through some of our information on small engines over the winter. But now that it's springtime, we can actually do a hands-on, we can actually use the equipment, see what the purpose is for it. This is all industry standard stuff that we have at school. So, I mean, this is the stuff that's gonna get you trained for the real world if you choose to do some of these jobs that are in horticulture. Today I'm going to show you how to use a 2-cycle engine, which basically means it's a smaller engine. It uses 2-cycle gas, and it has a very good weight to power ratio. It's a very small engine with a lot of power. It's like what they use on scooters or 4-wheelers or dirt bikes, things like that. These applications are all for turf and taking care of lawns and things like this. Okay, here's what we have. We have your basic weed whacker, all right? And we can look at the basic parts. Here we have the air cleaner. Okay, air cleaner. I can take this off. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. That's how it's done. I'm gonna set this like this. All right, that's their cleaner cover. There's their cleaner that actually is in there. What that does is it keeps the dust and grime and things out of the engine. If it gets in the engine, it's just gonna start running poorly and things. All right, we have our fuel right here. All right, that's a mix. It's a mix, so oil and gas go right into it. It's not like a car where you just go to the gas station and throw gas into it. Okay, here is our spark plug right there. This is our recoil, or our pull start. Okay, I want to take this back off the air cleaner so you can see what we're going to do here. Okay, I took that out. And when you start a motor, what you're doing is, underneath here is a primer. This little bulb right here. And you can see how that's full, so I really don't have to prime that. If there's any air in it, I would be priming that to get the air out. It's sort of like when you drink a soft drink through a straw. If you drink it up, you get the air out of the straw, and then you have a constant flow of the soda or water, whatever, milkshake or whatever. All right, right here, this is the choke. This is the guard for it that keeps the big gunk from getting in there. But that's the choke. It's like a little door, and I can move it like that. So when the engine's running, it should be like that. If it's cold or you're just getting it started in the at the beginning of the job, you might have to choke it like that just to get it going, and then you'll turn it off. Down here, we've got the throttle. That's like the gas pedal on the car. So you squeeze those two together. That's fast, that's slow. That makes sure you're holding it properly like that. This is the on-off switch. It's in the off, on, and it's clearly marked right there. Okay, we've got the handle, and then we come all the way down the shaft, and right here we have the head. Okay, and it's got this line in it, and this line is 0.095, so it's pretty thick. I mean, it won't cut you, but it'll, if you get whacked with that, you'll know it. All right, right here is a cutter, so when we put a new spool on, or we want to tap and go, this will cut it right off, and that'll be another lesson. All right, so basically what we're going to do today is we're going to start it. Okay, the first thing we're going to start with when you start an engine is you got to have fuel. It's a little combination of everything you need. You need fuel, you need spark, you need air, you need combustion. Combustion's the actual working of the engine. All right, so here's the spark plug. It's right there. These all-in-one tools are the way to go. And then it comes right out. All right, and you can see that spark plug isn't bad. All right, in comparison, that one's been running. That's a brand new one, and that's one that I'm replacing because it's not in good shape. There's another one that I'm going to be replacing that's not in good shape. All right, so I'm going to put this one back in, put it in the hole, and you got to make sure the threads are on there. Okay. Righty tighty. Okay. And I tightened that up and I put the spark plug cap back on. So now we have spark. We have air. We saw that. We saw the choke. All right. And we have, if we want to look, we have fuel. Okay, there's fuel in the tank. It's splashing around there. There's fuel in the tank. You can tell it's mixed gas because it's blue. All right, that means you've mixed oil and gas. Okay, the ratio is 50-1. So every 50 ounces of gas is 1 ounce of oil. Okay, the best way to start one of these motors is to do it on the ground. Okay? When you get more experienced in things, there will be some other practices that come into play. So anyway, I have everything right here. First thing I'm going to do, and I'll tell you, I'm going to turn it on. I can't tell you how many times I've tried to start a machine and oops, I forgot to flip the switch. Okay, again, that's my choke. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it like this. I'm putting my hand down and I can squeeze the trigger like that. Okay, I pumped it up over here with the little bulb. Okay, I got all the air out of there. And then I'm pulling the choke up and I'm just going to give it a little pull. Right when I started it, see that? If I leave the choke on, it's going to kill the motor, okay? You're choking the air, all right? So I'm going to let it run a second. And when you choke it, the gas piles up in there so that the spark plug can just boom, 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 it sparks. Now watch, when I squeeze, I got my hand here, it revs right up. Always have the end of this down or away from people, alright? I'm going to turn this off for a second, and we're going to move to where I'm going to show you a couple little tricks. Alright, here's a little trick of the trade with weed whacking. I'm just going to start up here, and everybody always gets worried about getting the stuff over them. And this is a really good safety idea so that things don't fly in your face. If you look at the head right here, I'm looking at the 9 o'clock position. Okay, the 9 o'clock. And when I whack, I'm going to go this way to cut in. I'm going to swing this way, right to left, and I'm just going to tilt this a hair, just a hair. And you'll see what I mean. sometimes you have a tough time starting them. And notice I'm not revving the engine up really. I'm not doing this. I'm going to be nice and easy. Right? I'm going right to left. You'll notice something when I do this. When I go this way, I'm cutting in, and everything's going away from me. Then when I come back, I'm just kind of like neatening it up. Now you can see how nice it looks around it. All right. Now we're up at the head of the weed whacker. And what this does is it spins, and the tip is all that really cuts. So your whipping is the function. Now, every once in a while, this will run out because this type is a tapping one. So if I tap that on the ground, it'll automatically kick some of more line out, and it'll cut it to length right there. But if we have to change it, we just pop this off. There's two places to squeeze. Stuck my thumb in there, and it comes out like that. All right, and you can see there's a spool that comes out of there like that, and we put new line on it and we put it back in. That'll be a lesson for another time. But here's the little hint to that. When we have to cut this off, to put it in here, we usually put like 12 feet in there. Also, part of what we're going to try and do today is we're getting out our equipment. Normally we would do this because you're all in class and we'd be on this, but doing this virtual in-class thing, we get a little behind. So we're going to be bringing out some equipment that may not have been started in a year, okay? We've been trying to work on all these things. Figured this would be a good platform for you guys to learn on, because then we can troubleshoot. Hey, Roby, we can't get it started. Well, does it have fuel? Okay, you're going to go through the checkbook. Spark, fuel, combustion. Is it turned on? Combustion isn't really going to be our problem because a lot of our equipment is nice stuff. We're going to have spark problems and we're going to have fuel problems. I'll just give you a hint. Okay, either it doesn't have fuel or it's getting too much, or the air cleaner is dirty. Our detective work here. I want to tell you this because the industry of small engines and things, and when you think small engines, it's just not weed whackers. It's also four-wheelers. It's golf carts. It's lawnmowers. Here's a commercial lawnmower right here. Okay,